The M7 battle rifle, previously designated as the XM5, it's the US military version of the SIG MCX Spear, which is just an absolute beast of a rifle. So this weapon was actually designed to replace the M4 and the M249, and it shoots just a massive round 6.8 by 51 millimeters, which is just absolutely insane for a rifle. And that cartridge was actually made because improvements in body armors were a concern for the smaller caliber that the M4 and M249 fire, which is 5.56 by 45 millimeters. All that being said, I've played extensively with the M7 in Delta Force, gone through probably half a dozen or more builds, trying to figure out what I preferred the most out of all of them, and I think I came up with something that is really, really good. So starting off with a blank slate here, and by the way, this skin, I absolutely love it. It is fantastic. Can't remember how I got it, but I digress. We're going to start off with the barrel here, so you have three options. I tried to make a build with this one, which just gives you an extra 2 meters in range, but I don't know, some things were kind of lacking. I felt like the weapon still was very hard to control. It has pretty brutal recoil, so I chose to go with the M7 Title Ultra Long Barrel Combo, which gives you extra 6 meters, more control, more stability at the cost of accuracy and handling. For the muzzle device, I chose to go with the Bastion Horizontal Compensator to correct some of that horizontal recoil. You can see it's getting a lot more straight here as opposed to the other side here before equipping it, so we're correcting some of that hard to control recoil. For the foregrip, which is all the way over here, I went with the RKO foregrip because it mitigates the vertical control, but not as much as the resonant ergonomic grip, but this one also reduces your horizontal recoil control, which is why I chose to go with this one. It's only one control less, so I chose to go with that grip. For the magazine, now you have two options here, the 45 round drum mag or the 30 round mag. I chose to go with the 30 rounder. The 45 round just gives you such a large handling penalty that I really don't want the rifle to feel like it took forever to ADS. It's still pretty slow overall. It is a chunky rifle, but yeah, that 30 round mag just felt a lot better. So install that. Then we're going to go with the mag mount, which just gives you positives across the board. For the rear grip, I went with the AR heavy tower grip, which is pretty common on a lot of the builds that I make, but for the grip mount, I went with the stable grip base to get further stability, slight cost of handling, but we're going to make up for a little bit of that, and then extra control. For the stock, going with the UR Spec Ops tactical stock, so again, boosting the control and boosting the stability, trying to get that stability as close as possible to plus 16, which is at which point you get a soft cap for stability. Yeah, very, very good stock. I wanted something that boosted both control and stability for this one. For the optic, just going with a red dot for this specific weapon, so my favorite one, the XRO quick response sight. And then for all four of these, well, 3 patches plus the upper rail slot here, we're going to go with the DD Python handguard panel, which is going to boost up some of that lost handling that we got earlier from attaching all those different fixings on this weapon. So it's going to give these 36 handling. For the calibration for the barrel, I went with plus 50 grams and plus 10 millimeters to get extra muzzle velocity and extra firing stability. For the foregrip, just went with plus 8 slots to get extra control. For the rear grip, went with negative 50 grams and plus 20 millimeters to get extra stability when moving and extra aiming stability while breathing. And for the stock, we're going to go with negative 50 grams to get even more aiming stability while breathing, and plus 4 slots to get more firing stability. And then finally for the optic, negative 20 millimeters on the eye relief. So that is my M7 or SIG Sauer MCX Spear build for Delta Force. So the M7 battle rifle is only available to the engineer class. It unlocks at level 22, and in order to use this specific build, you will need to level up the M7 to level 45. So this weapon does 25 damage across the board, except for the head, does 47 damage to the head. Now, even if you do get a headshot mixed in there, it's still taking you 4 bullets to kill because you're not doing a full 2x headshot damage multiplier, which is kind of unfortunate. Even with honestly 50 damage to the head, it will still take you 3 shots to kill, which is arguably a little bit better, but I can see why they didn't bump it up more than that, because then it would be very close to like weapons such as DMRs and stuff like that, or marksman rifles, and you're doing that 25 damage up to 46 meters with this specific build. Now, as I said, considering the size of the round that this thing shoots, it is a little bit difficult to control, but having that extra stability, you're really going to want to hold your breath when you're firing at targets at longer ranges, but it does become very easy to control when you are holding your breath because we bumped up that stability almost to the maximum at which you get the soft cap, which is plus 16 stability from whatever the weapon has at its base. And then from there on out, you're starting to get diminishing returns for every point you do put in stability. So it's kind of moot to put more than plus 16 stability on pretty much any weapons overall. But we did bump up that control just enough to make it decent to fire even when you're not holding your breath. Now, obviously the big downside is the handling. It does take quite a bit to be able to ADS, but I was playing around that more so, playing at slightly longer ranges than I usually play, and basically just not play as aggressive as I usually would. But then again, this weapon doesn't fire all that fast at 649 RPM, so if you're coming up against somebody that is using a weapon that really suits aggressive playstyles, you're probably going to get outgunned anyways. So yeah, definitely a very fun rifle to use. The animations are so clean on this one. The reload animation where he takes his mag out of the front pouch of his vest and then reload it, it just looks and feels really nice to use. And obviously with the weapon skin that I have on, just so cool looking. But yeah, M7 battle rifle, definitely a very powerful weapon in Delta Force. Quick shout out to Akekin7851 for recommending that I make a build for the M7. If you would like to see a weapon featured in an upcoming video, feel free to leave it in the comment section down below. As per usual, the weapon share code will be in the description down below, as well as in the top pinned comment. In any case, I'll leave you with a few highlight clips of me using this specific build or some of the other ones that I dabbled with. I got some pretty cool clips as well. But yeah, hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.